Oh, okay. I know. I'm sorry about to lose my peoples. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy in the building. Sorry, guys, we're a little late yapping, talking about everything.
Talking and forgot to hit live. That's what it
Got it
is.
live. There you go. All right. I think my brother is ready. He looks like he's flowing. He's in the
Morning, Cheryl.
building. Take
Hey,
over.
everybody,
There it is.
Take that tag off your hat.
man. When I see, listen, it's not official if it ain't got the tag on there.
I'm telling you, it's gotta have the starter emblem on that.
Gotta
Morning,
have it.
Cheryl. Morning,
Gotta
Lisa.
have it.
Morning, Lisa. Morning, Cheryl. All right.
Good morning,
Whew.
guys.
So
Hey.
I got a few things we're going to talk about today. Terry kind of started something last week when he jumped topic, and I was like, you know what? Let's do a few topics in the broadcast or see what we can get to. I'm not gonna make everybody just okay. That's enough of that. Let's move on.
You got a whole list.
whatever we get to, yeah. But it just makes the conversation more interesting, and pretty much everything always ties together either way. So
Thanks, Terry.
appreciate you guys. Hang tight. Make sure.
Gotta do what I gotta do.
So you guys hang tight. We'll be right back. Uno momento. Let's drop this intro, and we'll be right back. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, wrong button. Technical difficulty. Damn.
But don't be the meal. You know when you said that, don't be the meal.
Experience is the best teacher, but truth is the Holy Spirit is the best teacher.
If you can find the straightest path to the queen that you're supposed to be with, I believe in, and she finds her straightest path to you, and I think it gets away from all those, the skeletons in the closet.
We aim for the wrong things.
Right.
We aim to make our children a good husband. We aim to make our children good wives or successful businessmen or success, whatever.
Right.
The aim is wrong.
Trending is not happening without curiosity. So what's driving curiosity? You understand? People that are successful, people that are effective in life are people with priorities.
Hey, right.
Priority.
Get ready.
Priorities. Hey, Mom. See, we're here, Mother.
Get your life together.
My mother was blowing me up. She's like, where you guys
Taylor Francis, I see you.
She said it's 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock.
Well, listen, my mother was up at 3:30, man.
Ooh, Father God.
3:30. I'm like,
I pray for you.
And
I pray for your strength. I pray for your strength, man.
right.
Hey,
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
it ain't sanctifying unless you're shaking a little bit. You got to quicken and jerk and all that different kind of stuff. Y'all know. Listen, I'm from the old school church. I done seen it all.
Yeah. So everybody in, please make sure you share the broadcast out though.
yes. Sharing.
Before we get started, I want to say
before we make folks mad.
Yeah. Before we get started, though, I want to say congratulations to Dr. Chris, who just moved this past week. So congratulations.
Oh my God.
He showed us he took pictures of his house and put it in our group chat, and I was like, okay, I'm mad because I want something like that. I'm like,
but I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, but I don't think sometimes people understand that sometimes the warfare that comes with moving.
No, it's warfare.
Bro.
I mean, and I ain't trying to make it deep and mystical and all that different kind of
Please
stuff.
don't stop preaching on a Monday morning.
But my thing is, I looked at how many applications we filled out, how much money we spent just to make sure we was in the right situation. And sometimes you can mess yourself up by making one of those impulse decisions.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, man, you want to be somewhere where you're going to be comfortable and you ain't got to be scraping, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure that you're taken care of, man. So I want to say thanks to everybody that's been praying. And I'm telling you, it was a task. And my brothers,
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, y'all gonna come help me? And you know what Pastor McCrary gonna put in the text? Listen, man, the way my back is set up.
Well, you know,
Listen,
I would have.
okay, so
I'm 3,000 miles away.
So two things.
That's a long trek.
Likely excuse.
I could help you move virtually.
I just threw my back out a few days ago. When the first time you said you was doing it, I was ready. Remember, I texted you. I was like, dude, what you need? Let's go. Let's make this thing happen. But last week, some old man hit me. I was like, what's going on today?
Hey, I would have got you some icy hot.
I'm gonna defend Pastor.
Wait, time out. So talk.
What's up?
You say you're getting ready to defend.
Yeah, I'm gonna defend Pastor because his back. He need his back for his boy. He need his back for his son.
Right.
His back is taken up by his son. So listen.
Yeah, I need my back for my son, but I got a Hoyer lift because my son threw my back out about 9 years ago.
Oh right. No!
Yes.
Yeah. I don't lift nothing.
That's just right. He don't. So I got him on that. But I was ready. Then I was like, oh, he picked the wrong week. The brother picked the wrong.
Hey man, the house wasn't ready yet.
Because I know what movie.
Man, when I tell y'all, I had the whole house packed up and ready to go. And they said to me, the house ain't ready yet. You know, I was tight. I said, I gave y'all my money and y'all not ready? Oh, no.
Living in boxes.
That's got to be warfare. That's warfare right there. All right, AD, what we talking about today, buddy?
Yeah. Let's go. Because we could talk about moving all day.
All day. It's still the devil.
All right, so let's get real hot on this. So let's talk about the COVID vaccine. COVID vaccine. Now, as of now, I know they've been administering tests and they're still in the research stage. And I actually heard that looking for some more people, qualified people to take the test or whatever, or take the vaccine, just test it out and all that great stuff. When it happens, will you be taking it? Don't everybody answer at once.
Chat question. Put it in the chat.
That's a chat question.
That's a chat question too.
Will you partake? Sport car lady, good morning. You taking the vaccine, sport car lady?
Yeah. If you're on the chat, if you're on YouTube or Periscope, we would love to hear the answer. For Facebook.
Yes.
If the COVID vaccine comes about, I think they're slating it to come out the spring of next year, right? Or the summer of next year.
Yeah, but here's my question. How do you say we're going to have a vaccine in April of 2021?
No.
How do you project that it will be discovered?
I don't know what kind of formula they be using over there.
That's about as strong an argument as Christopher Columbus saying on September 24th, 1619, we're going to discover America.
Right. All right.
So do y'all think that they already have a vaccine already? That they just waiting to put out?
The question. The reality is they probably have something on the shelf already. And because by the time we find out, they've been doing stuff. You think about this. There are certain chemicals right now today. And we all know that this is COVID-19, which means there had to be a COVID-1.
Yeah. The 19th version of this COVID. Yes.
Right. We don't think about that kind of stuff. You go look at some of your disinfectants and it says will protect from COVID virus or coronavirus.
Right.
We think all this stuff is new, but it's not new. Yeah. It's just been exposed.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you think of it from that perspective, I was screened for possibly taking the COVID vaccine. The trials are being started in my area in Maryland. Yeah, I'm sure it's happening up in the Northeast. Absolutely. You just don't know what to trust. Here's the thing. Right. I haven't had a flu shot since the military.
Yeah.
I haven't had a flu shot since 1988.
Ooh. I haven't. I did it one time, probably like 2011, 2012, and was sick. And I was like, you know what? I can rock without this.
Yeah, none of my children have ever had a flu shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like shots, so y'all know I ain't taking no vaccine. They stick of people don't needle, don't none of listen.
Watermelon.
Talk about, let me stick that up your nose.
So
What?
here's my question: is what makes you qualified to test for this vaccine?
Thank
You
you,
said,
son. Is that what it is? Because it's 19, because it was discovered in 2019?
Really?
Really?
Okay.
No, COVID
I've
is
heard
older
that.
than
I've heard that.
Coronavirus has been around for a minute because it's
Yeah. Oh, he's saying that's what
maybe
19
this
is
strain.
COVID. This version of this strain.
Maybe this strain. Yeah.
Okay.
gotcha.
That
A
could
different
be.
strain.
All right.
So yeah, what because you said AD in the very beginning of this, you said
Yes.
they're looking for more qualified people to do. Who qualifies
Yes.
to be a guinea pig?
Who was it? I think they're looking for those that I think have had it.
Black people.
Just people. No, they
Black people.
Can't
Okay,
black
that's
people. You can't say black people.
They're looking
for it's against all kinds of laws.
They're looking for the descendants of the Tuskegee experiment.
Right.
Like call somebody from the hood.
Yeah, go now and get that boy down there on the come.
See, my mother. Yeah, only reason I
never had
never
had a flu shot. I would never have another one. Since we're talking about shots and vaccines and stuff like that, you know, and you guys probably, I may have told you guys this story, but I would never give up my kids another vaccine again, because when I gave my 18-month-old son the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, it changed his life. So I would never ever give him another vaccine. So that's
we didn't do it. My family is we've never done that stuff. And like I said, my mother didn't like it. So because and you know, we are our parents' children, right?
Right.
None of my children have had it. I have 5 of them. We didn't do it. I watched Social Dilemma on Netflix. A must-watch, speaks to what we are discussing. My children were talking about.
I heard that was good. I have still not seen it. I think AD
my children were trying to tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good. Okay. Here we go. All right. I hate this.
You got a clip?
See.
Oh, there you go. I was doing.
No, a clip of it. No, man.
Okay, we can get the real deal now since we got Wayne Goodman from Channel 9 WGN.
Fax News.
Fax News.
Exactly. It's crazy out here, Pastor Brian. It's real crazy out here today. I mean, there's no protesting. The weather is perfect. It's dropping. Not too hot, not too cold. We're gonna have a beautiful day today, guys.
We're having a good day.
Like Black Lives Matter.
Back to you.
Back to you.
Back to Dr. Burton in the studios.
Okay. We'll never consider taking the vaccine.
Back to you, AD.
All right. All right. So Dwayne.
Yes, sir.
Before we move on, or if someone else want to add, for you, COVID vaccine, yes or no? Yay or nay?
For me, no. It's an easy no, but it's a no for probably a different reason. Right. And that easy reason is from the life of me. I literally have depended on God for everything. I hate medicine, and my first line of defense for me has always been, I believe that if God is God and if God is Jehovah Rapha, the God that heals, then that is what it is. And when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. When I was in the military, it was extremely simple. I avoided every vaccine at all costs. And for those of you that have been in the military, Pastor Brian, you know that Uncle Sam says, okay, you're deploying here. These are the list of shots you got to get. Well, I would find a loophole so I wouldn't have to get those shots. I had a daughter that when she was born had eczema. So when you have a child with eczema, because their immune system is so vulnerable, you don't have to get certain vaccines. So even when I was in the military, the last 9 years that I was in the military, I never got a flu shot, never got any of those other vaccinations, never got sick. I blame it all on my faith.
So using a different military than me, because in my military,
shut up and get the shot.
Get that shot.
Dope them up.
Yeah,
Romello makes a good point. Romello, yeah.
The death rate goes up to 50%.
Wow. We talking about the death rate on COVID. So if COVID kills half the people it infects, I'll take that. I'll give it that.
I'm good still.
Well, I mean, if up to 50% of the people die from it, it cuts your chances of getting it in half.
That's true too. but here's the thing. So here's the thing. One thing that we all fail to realize: a vaccine is not a cure. All it is
no, it's never.
it introduces your immune system to a weakened version of the virus. So hopefully your body can fight the virus off. Now here's the thing.
Right.
People take flu vaccine and still get the flu. You can still take the COVID vaccine and get COVID.
Get COVID, yeah.
My whole thing is this. When it comes to that, I'm not finna voluntarily get none of the virus in me if I ain't got it. And
yeah, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
I really do, and this is just my personal opinion. I really do believe that most of us who aren't affected that we know of have probably already been exposed to it. And your immune system worked just fine. I'm not saying that's probably not the case with 100% of the people, but I'm guessing at least 50% of the people who worked, who went to a grocery store, who went to everything. When you take in all the account of everything that both sides are saying, which side's true, I don't know. But when you take all of it into account, I honestly believe that we've probably been exposed to it before.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, just as a medical note, these views do not represent that of Brothers of Legacy. These are our personal views on our situations in life. Please don't listen to us as we're medical. We're not medical professionals.
Right.
We are just giving our opinion on our personal lives. So please don't run out here in these streets talking about the Brothers of Legacy.
Just pretend like Donald Trump is talking right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, maybe not Trump. Because don't get that
Trump be like, everybody gonna die.
I don't
If
even
everybody get the vaccine.
everybody.
Speaking of that, you guys seriously. Speaking of that, he was caught in the lie that he knew about COVID and how dangerous it was back in February, March.
Well, that's the only thing.
Downplayed it the very next month and said it'll go away with the heat of April. What did you guys think about that when you caught that? When you heard that he was on a phone call with this guy and downplayed the virus to the American people? What do you think?
Well, he did say that it was a Chinese disease, so that really made me kind of downplay it until I saw people dropping like flies, and I was just like, you know what? This is not a Chinese disease.
Well, even if it's a Chinese disease, what the world fails to realize is there's 1.14 billion Chinese people. So normally when a Chinese disease hit the country of China, you have about 500,000 deaths, and everybody downplay it because it's less than 0.5% of the population. Right. So when they say Chinese disease, I always my eyes always spark because there are a lot of people that die that the numbers just don't get reported in China.
Right. Absolutely. But I thought about it. I was just like, wait a minute. The only thing that I could think about was no more egg rolls and shrimp fried rice. Come on, people.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, come on now. Come on. We got to do something.
Cut his microphone off.
No. He's right. We got to have that. We got to have that on toes, baby.
And think about all your bootleg. Everybody,
all the bootleg. Man, come on.
Y'all knock off Gucci gone.
We're not going to do that this morning. No.
Hold on. Let's go ahead and do that.
Go ahead
and do that. Hey, everybody.
It's the brand new brothers. You took him off the screen for real.
AD, I am not an economist. I am not a virologist, and I am not a doctor. Right. But I thought I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express last night.
Right.
All right.
So I got a quick one for y'all though.
All right, go ahead.
I got the demon virus.
Who?
Look, they made the doctor because she had spiritual implications in what she was saying, and she brought both worlds together. How do y'all feel about her? Do y'all feel she was made out to be the bad guy by a lot of black people and the left, or do you think she has a valid point?
What's her name? I can't remember her name. Remember her name, Eddie?
I don't know her name off the top of my head.
She was a doctor down in Texas, right?
Yeah, in Houston.
Yeah. She had a lot of video. There was a lot of. She was sponsored by the right wing folks. What's the name of that group? And then wasn't she a pastor?
She's a pastor.
She was a pastor, and then
But most importantly, she's a medical doctor who has patients that she can go back and say, "Here's my test pool."
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
She said she had a cure or something. Right?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't say a cure, the whatever that.
Hydrochloroquine.
Yeah, she didn't say it was a cure, but she said that it prevented better than anything that they were not giving or giving. So why wouldn't it give?
Yeah, the right wingers put her up, and they were paying her to do that. My personal opinion is the right wingers was paying her because she was sponsored by a right wing group, and then as soon as she endorsed hydrochloroquine, Trump right quick started tweeting about her, put her, and so this is all a ploy to me.
Well, now see, but here's a question though, Terry: was she endorsed by them, or did they see an answer to the left issue, so they jumped on the bandwagon?
I think they jumped on it. I believe she had something.
Yeah, they got to run and start and jumped on it, buddy.
It's kind of like Black Lives Matter. The organization probably borderline is a terrorist organization. The organization, but the movement and us that are saying Black Lives Matter, we're Black people who believe our lives matter. So the way George Soros and certain people kind of took that mantra and made it their own. So legally speaking, whenever you hear it now, you automatically think of this as opposed to thinking of this. I think the way that was hijacked, this was hijacked as well.
Yeah. Christopher Columbus.
All right.
Other stuff beside that.
All right.
So I need a great segue, AJ. Eddie.
You need a great segue. Speaking of hijacking. Real quick. Oh, it's 9:30 already. Jeez,
it's 9:30 already. That's it.
Yeah. We are every Monday. We have couples that come together, and we get the insight of what they're going through and some of the trials and tribulations of marriage and how they overcame a whole lot. All right, no doubt. So we have every Monday at 8 p.m. we have Purpose for Forever. And tonight we have an awesome couple, the Jacksons. You probably never heard because they're not like heavy on social media. But they have an amazing story to share. So just hold on one moment.
Me and you together, our purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart. Me and you together. Purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart. Me and you together. Our purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart.
All right. So speaking of that I'm not segueing. All right. So listen. Last week we started talking about Breonna Taylor. And the settlement that came at the end. So not talking about money, not talking about the lawyer. Getting into the settlement portion, right? Is a settlement enough? Is throwing money at a situation enough to feel justified?
No.
Is he frozen?
Get him close. Get Dwayne frozen. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I don't know.
No, it's not. See, settlement lawsuits are not justice.
Okay.
That's why it's civil.
Right.
Right.
You're pacifying me now.
It's outside. That's not judicial at all. It's civil.
No.
So no, it does not compensate. It does not provide. The answer is a settlement from a lawsuit because of an event that was considered wrong justice, and the answer is no, because you can get money and people not go to jail.
Right.
It's like
it's really just that simple.
It's like Breonna's mother said in her press conference the other day, and she said the first thing she said was, "This is the beginning of getting justice."
Right.
But yeah, but for some reason, people think that if the trains come down the tracks, right? If they got a thing happening, money can slow down slow down the movement, and so that's why he did it. They gave her that money to slow down, so people can stop the rumblings.
Well, that's the thing. You get the money to
get this work,
right?
And
it's to close your mouth. Stop. We're going to pay you to stop talking about it. We're going to pay you to stop chasing it.
Yeah, right. But you didn't pay me.
That's why the law enforcement, the biggest component to the law enforcement budget is for lawsuits.
Right.
$800 billion.
Right.
Or 800 million. 800 million dollars for Los Angeles County.
Wow.
Was strictly for
settlements,
lawsuit settlements.
Crazy.
So it just seems to me that they knew they was gonna mess up.
Well, they know that they're going to, so they set aside monies for that. That's what they do. Because you got to think about it. For every case that you hear, there are 5 cases that you don't hear about because of settlements. Exactly. So the reason why they feel so free to do this stuff is because they keep paying people off, and so they can continue to act crazy.
Yeah.
And so the question really becomes: do we stop taking money and continue the fight for justice?
Right.
That's the question. And the answer to that is no, because in this world you should be able to get both.
Yeah.
Give me the money and send it behind the jail anyway.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I don't know why they think that because I gave you $12 million. So what? We can't arrest the guy that shot her daughter and killed her daughter in her sleep. No, you cut me a check though. That ain't for me. That's for my grandkids. If I was her mother, that $12 million is for her grandkids because they would have made $1 point something million in their lifetime. So $12 million is plenty for my babies, but you took mine.
And that's what we were talking about last week, Terry. Right. That's exactly it. It's like how much money, what you've done is you've taken away a resource for a family. So over the lifetime of the remaining lifetime of that individual, what type of resource, what type of benefit would there have been to the family? And I need you to compensate for that.
Right. Absolutely. And then again, Pastor, you can never get repaid for losing a life.
Right.
There's no amount of money that can exchange for that. And I think sometimes people think, well, because they gave me a little something, then it's going to come from me. But I already know, even though Brianna mom got a settlement, if she did get a settlement or not, you can't restore that life. And I think that's something that they have to really kind of be sympathetic to and sensitive to. Because people are losing their lives and getting paid off, but that is only helping for a short amount of time.
Right. Because it still shows no repercussions. I think it doesn't put a control on the cops. They start getting arrested. Maybe they'll think twice about some of the things that they do. Some of the plans that they have. I think it does give at least a dynamic. It's like you can't get. You're behind that wall where, we're just gonna pay them off. You just keep working,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that
my question too, though, AD, is: do those officers go through the same population as regular population in prison? Because it don't seem like they're in the same places as some of the other convicted felons and stuff.
No, they are, but that's why they try to protect them as much as they can. Something to consider. Keep in mind that most of the leadership in law enforcement that has to hold officers accountable were once officers themselves.
Right.
And they had the same protections in place. Right. Let's not forget that the reason why the thin blue line exists in most cases because they could all send each other to prison any day of the week because they have so much dirt on each other.
Right.
They have no option but to cover each other.
Right.
And we don't think about that. You don't think about the chief of police was once an officer on a beat.
Right.
And he did what he did and people protected him and covered him. And now he's the chief. He's got to cover those folks because they have dirt on each other.
Right.
Yeah,
That's true.
You know?
like it's what I used to watch Breaking Bad, and anytime Walter decided to make a payment to the bad guys, it was called a legacy payment, right? So it's trying to protect the police chief. He's got to pay these guys back for keeping their mouths shut and looking the other way and all that. So yeah, you got to pay your due. I mean, but like I said, with this money before I left it, that's for my babies, man. You took my child. If you guys haven't seen it yet, there is a special on Hulu about the killing of Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
And it's like, really?
That's interesting.
This is what?
Yeah.
And it's so many dynamics to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you get
stuff you like, I didn't even know that, so it's just, it's interesting. Have you seen man, I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that from
I had to look it up. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it's out here in Idaho too. It's crazy.
But I don't know if we want to go down this path. Someone said something. Someone said this. I think it was Jane Elliott, the teacher, the instructor, who's been dealing with
racism.
Yeah, she. They had her on The Arena. There's a new sports show called The Arena. With Kerry Champion, Zeke, Isaiah Thomas, and one of the former coaches of head coach of the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
And they had Jane Elliott on, and they interviewed her. She started teaching about racism in 1968. She started teaching that topic. She's the one who did the black and white, brown and blue eye project.
Yes.
Where she was, So she started that the day after MLK was assassinated.
Wow.
I didn't realize that's what triggered her to go into her classroom and start teaching this or start going through this process with the children. And she said the worst thing, which was intentional, the worst thing that we could have ever done in America was put color on people.
Right.
She said, I've lived all these years of my life, but I've never seen a white person.
Right.
I've lived all these years of my life, and I've never seen a black person.
Right.
Which is what prompted me to do this study in my classroom with young children. She said, I was able to take a Christian, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, so-called white girl who felt like she was on top of the world and had all the gifts and all the resources to her advantage, who excelled, and I was able to teach her mathematics. I taught her multiplication in about 3 hours.
Wow.
And she excelled at it. And she said, so as long as I considered her blue-eyed, she excelled. And the brown-eyed children, she didn't start with black kids and white kids. She started with brown eyes and blue eyes. Right. And so one day I said, all the blue-eyed people get all the advantages. They get to go in the front of the line. They're going to be considered the smart children. They get all the benefits. They get extra time at recess. They're the smart children. And all the brown-eyed children are going to be considered second class.
Right.
So even if you were a white child, but you had brown eyes, you were considered second class. Right. And so you had to wait. You had to eat last. You didn't have as much time to eat. You didn't have recess and all it, and you were not considered one of the smart children. And what she saw was that a child who excelled academically, once they identified with being brown-eyed, they no longer excelled.
Wow. Didn't she do that experiment on Oprah Winfrey?
Well, hold on. Yeah. She took this, and then what she did was she swapped. She said so that a few weeks later, she took all the blue-eyed children and told them, even though you have blue eyes, today you're brown eyes.
Wow. So
from now on, all the brown eyes are over here. And she put white children with blue eyes and blonde hair in the brown-eyed section. Wow. And then made all the brown-eyed children the blue-eyed children.
Yeah.
And she said that the brown-eyed children, the children who had natural brown eyes, who weren't doing well in class, did better. Right. Because their mindset was different. And so colors are yeah, absolutely. And that was her point, Romello. She said that the color was created in people to divide intentionally. That's where it all came from. Had that never been done, we wouldn't be having these conversations today. That's what she said.
Right.
And she validated it over and over again. And then she said something what I thought was interesting. If you all have seen the video, she's been doing this stuff since '68. She had a room full of white people
Right.
in an auditorium. And she said, anyone in here that is willing to experience life or want to get treated the way that the system treats black people,
Right.
I want you to stand up now.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody said, she said, well, maybe you didn't hear the question. She said, if you're in
nobody
this room
that.
and you're willing to experience the treatment
Right.
that black people get today, I want you to stand up right now.
Right.
Mhm.
Nobody stood up. She said, well,
Yeah.
none of you stood up, which means you know what's going on.
You know what's going on.
No.
Right? So if
Yeah.
you know what's going on and you don't want it to happen to you, how can you sit idly by and watch it happen to someone? And and my thing is, it doesn't even take that extreme.
Right.
The reality is everybody does know it. They act like they don't, but yet we're continuing to have this debate when you know it to be true.
Know it to be true. Yeah, they
You
don't
know
want
it
to.
to be true.
They want it. I know this is a cheesy thing, but I feel like it's true. They want our rhythm, they don't want our blues, right? So they, as long as they can do what we do, get lips, whether we and dance to our music and this stuff like that, they can do that and feel justified in doing that. But when it comes to dealing with what we have to deal with on an emotional level, then it's tricky. I don't want to do that. What? I gotta be what? No, you want to wear blackface and stuff like this, and it's supposed to be.
You say you want to get slapped?
Yeah, you want to get.
Oh, my bad.
What's Pastor Brian's favorite song? No. What's Pastor Brian's favorite song? Try
me. Don't try me because I throw hands.
I throw hands. That's all. It's crazy. In me living in the state that I live in, I see it every day. They listen to Mac Miller when he's white, but they listen to rap and things of this nature, and they want to walk around with the yo bro. But when it's time to talk about some issues, they don't have anything to say. Well, I don't know anything about that.
I wish it was that easy, actually. I wish it was that. I wish it was as easy as the bystander effect. Someone else will deal with it. I don't even think they put that much thought into it. They just say, not me.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there was a study, and I'm literally going to have to do some research and find it because I don't want to just put information out there. But in the study, it was a questionnaire to people who lived during the 20s, the 50s, and the 70s, and they asked several questions. Were blacks educated at the same rate white people were? And they asked white people, and the answer was no. Were blacks treated equally to white people? The answer was no. And there was a series of questions along those lines. Now, they asked those questions during those time periods as well. And the overwhelming majority of the population was like, everything is good. Blacks live good like this, and ain't nobody know. Everything is fine. They're being educated. They're being this. They have this. They have equal access to this. And it kind of begs the same thing as right now. The majority says, why are people fighting? Why are they mad? Why are they upset? These people need to act this way during these encounters, and certain things won't happen. But the truth of the matter is, the same questions that are asked now, I guarantee you, when you ask the children of the people who are alive treating people like they are now, they're going to be like, no, the 2000s was horrible for black people. Maybe not horrible, but they definitely won't say fair. That word won't come up. And I think it's always easier to pass the buck. You don't want to, we can't blame your grandparents for the way they treated us, but we can blame you for the way you treat us.
Right.
And to Terry's point, being in the military, a lot of people of white ethnicity are facing their stereotypes every day. And a lot of them literally like, you know what, man, all this stuff that I thought about you was wrong.
and they love your music and they love your culture and everything. So a lot of them is real. Some of them they want that, but they don't want you with it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny is that some of the biggest Karens that are on the planet right now have their lips done, their butts done, their boobies done white because they want to look just like us, right? But they're the biggest Karen. You know, I think.
But Terry, they want
I
to
think
look
it's
like
crazy.
Kylie Jenner. They want to look like Kim K. They don't.
But
Oh, right.
No, I'm just.
almost black.
Well, you guys,
Oh,
see,
that was petty.
you guys are totally clueless. You don't really understand that it was Bo Derek
Oh,
for
Yeah,
French.
you're right about that.
yeah. Jay-Z even said y'all want to be Bo Derek with your hair in a twist.
Yeah, he
Right.
did.
Right.
Justin Timberlake being
Wow. You went back on that. I was like,
Yeah,
right.
girls. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's how old I am.
But
I
you're
remember
right,
Bo
though,
Derek.
Pastor.
Yeah, because I seen the. Well, I'm not. I wasn't around when Bo Derek was younger, but she did a movie with Chris Farley and Tommy Boy, and she came out of that pool. I was like, what?
She's like 70 years old in that movie.
Go get delivered.
Still like what?
You need delivered.
Yeah. The Lord.
All right.
Shepherd. Know what I want. All
Justin
right, go ahead.
Timberlake being on hip hop and soul, and once she ripped Janet Jackson's breast cover to expose herself, it was a wardrobe malfunction followed by a slide. Yeah, but I got to tell you something. For me, when you consider things like that, is it because of his upbringing, or did he realize he'll be more popular if he took that path?
I mean, so you think it was a setup? You think he did it on purpose?
He's so silly. Oh, Chris is the best.
Hey, Chris, you can have
Chris,
mine if you get your hair off the top of your head.
Hey, Chris, Chris, a little bit out.
Oh,
Jenny was fine.
so and maybe his upbringing,
True.
and maybe where he came from. Who he was around. I don't think it was a path. I think it was just him, kind of being him. I mean, and maybe
him referring to Justin, right?
Yeah, I think he might have had maybe hit a crossroad, and maybe like someone was like, you need to do more of this instead of more of that, kind of thing. But I think it was already him. You know what I'm saying? However he grew up or whoever he grew up around. I think that just was him. I don't know his full story or where he originated from. Or
He's like from Minnesota somewhere.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Minnesota, I think. Hey,
Yeah.
Siri.
And he was a Disney kid too. So
Yes.
So it don't matter
He
where
had a lot-
he
he
grew
was
up. He was exposed to a
lot.
whole lot early.
Right.
Early.
Right.
And you know what they say about Disney and the rumors and allegations of pedophilia. They might be a lot more influence there than we know. I'm not sitting here saying that, but I'm just saying it exists.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
Right.
So
right. Just for the record, Justin Timberlake's from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, well, all right.
Oh, well, there you go. He's from Orange Mound.
Right.
Yeah. That dude, he get his soul from them boys out there.
Look, he hanging out with Juicy J, DJ Paul, and Crunchy Black, and Young Dolph, and Joe Gotti. He'll throw.
Yeah, I mean him hooking up with Timberland just kind of helped his whole career.
Timberland, he's the GOAT. Timberland is the GOAT of the
all right, let's reel it back in. What's the next topic, AD?
Look, we must got a Dre fan.
Okay, hold on. To your question, Pastor, I believe it was a combination of both because he took no heat for that controversy whatsoever. Meanwhile, Janet had an album out and was ostracized by the industry.
Agreed. She was.
That was
her fault. Like she grabbed her own boobie and snatched it off.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, even still, what were they tripping for? You got a breast that has a small piece of cloth over it, and you doing vigorous dance movements
right
on the Super Bowl stage. You didn't think that could possibly happen?
Ooh,
you didn't think that could?
I think it was.
It could have been a combination of both of them, young Ashley.
Right.
I don't know if it was race because I don't see where it could be race in that. I think it was because
she was a woman.
she was a woman.
So if Britney Spears would have popped out, you think that she would have been?
Ooh.
She went and cut her hair clean, skint bald.
Well, she went nuts. Well, she went nuts anyway.
Yeah,
so
but they still loved her. They still supported her.
Man,
Even with
when
her
Britney lost her mind, the industry lost her mind with it. She lost everything. No,
she didn't. She didn't lose everything.
I think
no. It
what she lose? What she gain?
What did she lose?
She lose.
What did she lose?
What she
That's the
lose?
question.
Listen,
No, she ain't lose nothing. And really, she really gained.
Other than her mind.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
But really, she done gain more followers because of her mental illness.
if we could keep it 100, when we fall, we usually done. When we fall, it's a wrap. It takes us a minute. Like unless somebody of another stature crowns us and puts it next to us, like, hey, this is my boy, this is my buddy, support. Yeah, we done. We done. But when they fall, man,
I got you one, AD.
What up?
AD, Cat Williams. Now I'm a Cat Williams fan, so I seen some Cat Williams stuff after the fact. But how many Cat Williams stand-ups have you seen since?
But see, you can't really use Cat though.
Why? He went crazy just like Britney went crazy.
He did. But see, Cat, he did it to himself though.
Oh, so
yeah, he did. So his was self-inflicted. You're absolutely right.
Do you hear the narrative?
Right.
His was self-inflicted.
So sorry.
It's a mental issue. So
somebody did to Britney? I'll wait.
I'll wait too with you, Andy. I'm with you today. Hey, we the bushwhackers up. We at least
not the bushwhackers. No. But no, Cat. I mean, I don't think Cat is mental. I think he's. I'm like you, Dwayne. I was a huge Cat Williams fan, and then every time you turn around, he was always into something. He went up to that one show. You talk about that girl's wig and all that.
You're a comedian though. What you do? You don't have.
That's what he's supposed to do. He roasted her 10 times over. It was a great interview, right? But then later on that night, he went and fought the husband or the wife. I mean, the husband, and pulled the gun or whatever. It's like a lot of stuff he did to himself. Going to the airport.
He did get beat up by a 13-year-old teenager.
Yeah, he got acting back.
I mean, that teenager put the paws on him. I was just like, Pat, I mean, you ain't got no tiger in you nowhere, son. I'm like, come on, dog. But again, you just never know with these millennials.
Hey, look, but in all fairness, that 13-year-old was the size of Shaq's son.
He was.
That was a big 13-year-old.
Have this happen in the Super Bowl is catastrophic. Oh, here's why they tripping.
Oh yeah. When you watching football, you don't want to see no boobs pop out. You try to stay caught up on the game.
No, they just don't want it to pop out in public. They want to pop it out on the laptop later at night.
Silence.
Right. Awkward silence. Talk about man. You just gonna pull it out right here. Like
my girl is watching this.
Right.
I mean, I get it. I mean, because they got fined by the FCC because that's obviously because it's on national television and everybody's watching and there's no real rating. It's prime time and kids was watching and stuff like that. So
it's the most televised event in the world.
Yeah, right. It is. And
then on top of that, AD, of that, they charge $15 million for 10 seconds of commercial time. Yeah. So what with your fine?
Right. So I do believe it may be a combination of her being black and a woman. For her getting vilified for that. I mean, there's a malfunction. Like there was no undercurrent. Like it seemed like it was purposeful, but
I think it was she was whose sister she was too.
She would have been forgiven quicker. Exactly. More convincingly and stronger excuses would be provided by the offended parent. Right.
And I think it's because of whose sister it was and all the stuff he was going through at the time.
Yeah.
And then remember that's when he was in litigation to buy the Beatles catalog and Sony wasn't pleased with it and they was trying to get it up off him.
Right.
So there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes that probably worked into that as well.
Right. All right. I ain't even let me before we go, because I didn't let time ride. I gotta get a producer up in there to be watching the time for me.
Right.
All right. All right. So make sure you guys give, because we are on a mission to do more in our community. We're not just a talk show, but we are a group of men that come together to discuss topics and issues that are concerning our community, and just kind of we are coming up with solutions, as well as we're kind of stirring the pot, where we want you to think a little bit and see from a different perspective. So we appreciate you guys rocking with us. Let's see what it say, Dwayne, doing the Martin two fingers bouncing between our hours. So we appreciate you guys. So real quick before we go, I just want you to watch this ad where we talk about what we're doing and some of the purpose that we're here for. All right, so hang tight. I appreciate you supporting the Brothers of Legacy broadcast. In this space, we are in the process of expanding. And what does that mean? We have developed a financial literacy course for children. We're connecting with schools. We've got other men involved in our local programs in our community. We are ever expanding. So now we are seeking your financial support. And what does that mean? That means we are trying to get money for administrative costs, marketing, and being able to grow exponentially. But we need you to help us with that financially. And you've already helped us with us being part of the broadcast, helping us, those that are part of the community. They've helped tremendously. But now we need your financial support. So what I'm asking, if you click the link here, click that website, go to the website, check out the Brothers of Legacy. It gives you an understanding of what we're doing, as well as gives you a chance to contribute financially. You have several ways. You can go through PayPal, you can go through Cash App. Also, you can give monthly, you can give one time, however you see or feel like you should contribute into this movement. This is an opportunity for you to contribute to legacy. We are changing the narrative. So this is your opportunity to be a part of that legacy. Our legacy is about the building blocks we start today. Our legacy is about the building blocks we start today. So we appreciate you. We thank you. And I thank you for all the supporters that's already given. And for those that desire to give, this is your opportunity. And I'm thanking you in advance. As always, I'm excited. I'm excited for the growth. We've been at this a year and some change now. And change is going to happen. And I want you to be a part of it. So hit that link and be a part of that change. All right, it's just me and you, buddy.
That's what's up.
So we appreciate you guys. We need like 2 hours of this show.
I'm telling you,
growing. I need to see what we can do to work it out. I don't know if my people's is ready for a 2-hour show, because I think there's so much we can cover in 2 hours. I think an hour is okay, but 2 hours will give us time to really dig into some things. And I could
put us on C-SPAN,
right?
Spice it up a little bit.
There you go. There you go. Oh, so I appreciate you guys rocking with us. I appreciate you guys hanging with us. Definitely thank you for sharing this broadcast. We are growing. We're watching the numbers every day, and it's been growing steadily. We've been here over a year now, so I'm excited about all our potential, and the reach that we're getting. So with that being said, go ahead.
And the thing that I love is, even though we talk about Black issues,
yes,
one of the most important parts of that is Black people in America will never be able to completely tackle Black issues alone. And even in the show, we're not tackling it alone. We have input from Chris and Jeff Aroni and a couple others that pop in that are
Right.
consistent.
Right.
So
Right.
the fact that brothers and sisters of all races can hop on here and we can have a decent conversation and learn a little bit about each other is amazing. So shout out to all of you that don't look like me, that support us and that rock with us as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So I appreciate you guys. So as always, we rock every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you've not locked in, make sure if you're on YouTube and if you can go to YouTube, definitely support there. And we push into YouTube because it helps in a financial base by subscriptions and viewership and things of that nature that you probably already know about. So if you can, go over to YouTube and support us there.
Get a count, Romello.
Right. Get the count, Romello.
For your boy. For your boy, get in the
Yes,
count.
indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So as always, we appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same place, same channel. All right. So take care. Know that the brothers love you, but God loves you more. And have an awesome day. Peace out.